Alright, so for a very simple project, we're going to choose to make a hollow box with a hinge. Okay? So to get started, I'll just make a new Blender. I'll remind you that under user preferences, I have this set to Maya and Maya, and I have it also set to invert zoom direction off. Okay, Alt, left, middle, and right allows you to navigate. So Alt, middle, left, right. So basically you're going to keep your paw on the Alt just about all the time. Okay, so we have the box. And you hit N on the keyboard. It brings up the kind of numeric variation of Blender where we can type in values. And we want this box to be 50 millimeters. So we'll type in 50, 50, 50. Then we're going to say to ourselves, well, I want the box to be relatively sturdy. So we're going to choose an outside wall value for that. And there's many different ways to do this. I like to think of it more of a Boolean cut, but you can simply box model it too. And I'll show you both examples. So example 1, let's hit Shift D to duplicate it. So example 1 is I would build another box, Shift D again, move it up just a little bit, just so you can grab a hold of it, and type in 45. 45. And for the Z ratio, it can be anything, because really I want to make it so I can have it go through the top. So 1, 3, and 7 on the number pad allows you to jump from all views. 5 allows you to get into orthographics, and you'll be using orthographics a lot for these projects. Z allows you to get into the wireframe. And there we go. Now if we wanted to measure it perfectly though, we could type in 45 and then center it within this cube. And then hit Tab, and this allows you to get into the component mode. Component mode, I'm just going to grab these two vertices and move it up. Now I know I have a 5 millimeter variation between the inner and the outer box. So that would make this wall 5 millimeters. Okay, so here's the other way you can handle that. Let's use Alt to spin around, hit Z, grab a face. So in order to grab the face, you go to component mode, click on the cube, hit Tab, and delete it. Grab one single face and hit L. This allows you to highlight the entire piece of geometry. Hit the space bar and type in SOL and get to Solidify. So Solidify allows you to basically go like this and dictate the wall thickness. Now, here's the issue. These numbers are kind of like a percentage of change, so they're not in millimeters. That means that there's no way to perfectly measure this unless you use something like a 5 millimeter cube to kind of look at it. So here's, for example, that's basically 5 millimeters right there, perfect. This one is kind of the fudge factor of 5 millimeters. Solidify is nice to use though in a pinch. And if you don't care about wall thickness at all, you just want to model, that's Solidify. Okay, Z on the keyboard. Okay, for this one, if I want to hollow that out, basically I take the middle model and I name it 01 cube. Anytime I have that 01 in front of it, I know in my head that that is a Boolean geometry. I'll take this box, Click on it. Go to this little wrench. Use Boolean. Difference 0, 1 cube. And apply. Okay, so pulling this out, you can see now I have a perfect 5mm box on the inside. Okay, so that went pretty smooth. In later application, I would say that I want to show you different things you have to look for as far as normals and the direction they're facing. You should always keep a thing on called display backface culling. And what you're looking for here is models that look a lot like this. If your model looks like this, you have flipped normals. So in order to change those, because you can't use flipped normals, if you went to print this, it would be nothing. The program wouldn't be able to slice it. So anytime you see this, you hit L to highlight the entire piece of geometry, and you can hit flip direction. Now let's say one single face is flipped. That happens to me all the time. Like that one right there. Well, hit L and you can hit recalculate. This will recalculate it to the average of what it thinks that should be the outer world space and normals facing that direction. Pretty cool, right? Won't get you popularity points in parties, but good to know. Alright, so now we have our cube. It's out there, and we need a lid for it. So in the next little video, I'll show you how to make a hinged lid.